Did you know that procrastination is ranked as the third most common career-limiting habit? Surprising, isn't it? Now, before you raise an eyebrow, let's clarify something. When we talk about procrastination, we often paint it with a broad brush, labeling it as the villain in our quest for productivity. But what if I told you that not all procrastination is created equal? That's right. There's a side of procrastination that's been hiding in the shadows, an unseen power that can actually be harnessed for good. The key lies in understanding the difference between productive procrastination and its more harmful forms. You see, procrastination becomes a problem when it's used as a mindless form of escape or when it negatively impacts our work performance. This sort of procrastination, often driven by fear or perfectionism, can indeed hinder productivity and limit our career growth. But then there's productive procrastination, a form of prioritization and time management that can actually fuel our productivity when used wisely. It's not about avoiding work, but about strategically delaying certain tasks to focus on those that are more urgent or important. You're not shirking responsibilities, instead, you're making conscious decisions about where to invest your time and energy. Procrastination in this sense isn't about being lazy or disorganized. It's about understanding your work rhythm, identifying your priorities, and leveraging the power of delay to your advantage. But before you start thinking of procrastination as your enemy, let's delve into why it's not always a bad thing. Procrastination isn't a one-size-fits-all concept. It comes in different shapes and forms, and understanding these can be the first step towards harnessing its power. On one hand, we have productive procrastination. This is when we delay certain tasks, not out of laziness, but as a form of prioritization. It's about consciously choosing to do something more important first, and it can actually be a useful time management tool. On the other hand, we have detrimental procrastination. This is when we put things off, not because there's something more urgent to do, but because we're driven by fear or perfectionism. It's when we're so scared of failing or not doing a perfect job that we end up not doing anything at all. This kind of procrastination can hinder our productivity and limit our potential. So the key is not to eliminate procrastination, but to manage it effectively. Tip number 1, prioritize your tasks. Think of it as organizing your day's to-do list. What's urgent, what's important, and what can wait? Prioritizing allows you to focus on tasks that truly matter first, leading to what we call productive procrastination. It's a way to manage your time effectively, ensuring that you're not just busy, but actually making progress. So, start your day by identifying your top 3 priorities. This simple act can make a world of difference in your productivity levels. Remember, not all tasks are created equal. Tip number 2, embrace imperfection. Perfectionism often fuels procrastination, creating a fear of failure that holds us back. We delay tasks, waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect idea, or the perfect execution. But here's a secret: perfection is a myth. It's an unattainable standard that can hinder, rather than help, our progress. By accepting that imperfection is a natural part of life, we can free ourselves from the shackles of perfectionism and move forward, turning procrastination into productivity. Remember, perfection is not a prerequisite for success. Tip number 3, break down big tasks. You see, one of the main reasons we procrastinate is because we're overwhelmed by the sheer enormity of a task. It feels like climbing Mount Everest without a map, but here's a secret. You don't have to conquer the entire mountain in one go. Break it down into smaller, manageable parts. Think of it as taking one step at a time. This approach makes the task less intimidating, and before you know it, you've reached your goal. Remember, every journey begins with a single step. Moving on to our next set of tips. Tip number 4 is all about creating self-imposed deadlines. While it's true that procrastination can sometimes be a form of prioritization, it's also important to keep yourself accountable. Setting deadlines for yourself can give your tasks a sense of urgency and can help you stay focused and motivated. Remember, a task without a timeline is just a wish. Now let's talk about tip number 5, rewarding yourself. It's crucial to celebrate your small victories along the way. After completing a task or reaching a milestone, take a moment to acknowledge your progress. This could be as simple as taking a short break, having a piece of chocolate, or spending some time doing something you love. The key here is to associate productivity with positivity and to keep your motivation levels high. Moving on to tip number 6, avoiding distractions. In today's digital world, distractions are everywhere. From social media notifications to incoming emails, it's easy to lose focus. So make a conscious effort to minimize these interruptions. Create a workspace that is conducive to concentration. This could mean turning off your phone notifications, using apps that block distracting websites, or simply choosing a quiet place to work. And finally, tip number 7, practicing mindfulness. Procrastination often stems from fear or stress, and mindfulness can be a powerful tool in managing these feelings. By focusing on the present moment, you can let go of the anxiety about the future or the regret about the past and can fully engage with the task at hand. Try techniques such as meditation, deep breathing, or simply taking a few moments to ground yourself in your surroundings. And now, for our final 3 tips. Here are our last 3 tips to harness the power of procrastination. As we round off our list, tip number 8 encourages you to cultivate a positive attitude. It's easy to beat ourselves up over procrastination, but this negativity can often fuel the cycle. Instead, try to reframe your thoughts. Recognize that procrastination isn't always detrimental and can even be beneficial if managed correctly. Moving on to tip number 9, it's crucial to understand your procrastination triggers. We all have certain tasks or situations that make us more prone to delay. Perhaps it's a daunting project that seems too massive to tackle, or maybe it's a task that you find uninteresting. Identifying these triggers can help you anticipate and manage your procrastination habits more effectively. Remember, awareness is the first step towards change. Lastly, tip number 10 emphasizes the importance of practicing self-compassion. Procrastination is a common struggle, and it's okay to slip up sometimes. Rather than being hard on yourself when you procrastinate, treat yourself with kindness and understanding. This compassionate approach can reduce the stress and guilt often associated with procrastination, making it easier to bounce back and get back on track. So, let's recap. Cultivate a positive attitude, understand your procrastination triggers, and practice self-compassion. These tips aren't just about managing procrastination, they're about transforming it into a powerful tool for productivity and personal growth. And there you have it, 10 tips to turn procrastination into a powerful tool. So procrastination isn't always the villain it's made out to be. Quite the contrary, it can be a powerful ally if we choose to understand and harness it. Let's take a moment to recap what we've discussed today. Procrastination is not inherently bad. It can be a form of prioritization and time management as long as it's used productively. The trick lies in knowing when procrastination is beneficial and when it's detrimental. We've shared 10 tips to help you manage procrastination in your life. Remember to prioritize your tasks. Not all tasks are created equal, and knowing which ones need your immediate attention can make a significant difference. Embrace imperfection, because perfection is an illusion that can lead to unnecessary delays. Break down big tasks into smaller, manageable ones. This makes the task less overwhelming and encourages progress. We've also explored more techniques like setting realistic goals, using rewards as motivation, and understanding your peak productivity times. Each one of these tips, when applied correctly, can transform procrastination from a foe to a friend. And finally, remember that procrastination is just a tool. Like any tool, its effectiveness depends on the wielder. Procrastination can be a sign of wisdom, a signal to step back, reassess, and refocus. But it can also be a hindrance, a barrier to productivity that needs to be addressed. So the next time you find yourself procrastinating, remember these tips. Make sure you subscribe to our channel for more empowering insights. Until then, keep pushing boundaries and turning weaknesses into strengths.